Welcome everybody. Today I want to do a stock analysis on Alibaba. So Alibaba, with stock ticker symbol BABA on the New York Stock Exchange, is a Chinese multinational conglomerate that specializes in e-commerce but has also forayed into other areas such as successful cloud business and is one of China's leading technology companies and the world's 5th largest internet company by revenue. Now I want to have a look at this first subsidiary of Alibaba, which is Aliexpress. So before we get into all of the numbers for the companies and the subsidiaries, I think it's so important that when you're purchasing a company you understand exactly what they do and exactly what you're buying. So let's have a look at Aliexpress first. So this is the Aliexpress homepage, and if you've ever heard of dropshipping or Shopify, the likelihood is that you've heard of Aliexpress. It's a global market space that allows consumers to connect directly to manufacturers and distributors, mainly in China, but Aliexpress is also popular in Russia, the United States, Brazil, Spain, France, and many people use Aliexpress to sell products from China on a website in a different country, and for example for a higher price than they pay for the product, all while the distributor generally ships straight to the client. And this is drop shipping, and this method has made Aliexpress extremely popular. So if we have a look at Aliexpress, we'll search for possibly a lightning cable for an iPhone. So a lightning cable is usually about $30 if you go to Apple Store, but if you look here you can get lightning cables for much cheaper. So here is one for, you see here, $169 to $190 per piece. So what this means is you have a bulk price. So if you scroll down, we can see that the more you purchase, the better deal you get, and this is because you're purchasing straight from the manufacturer in China, so you negotiate straight with the manufacturer, and this allows you to basically get the best deal possible so that you can make the most money possible on a website to sell it. So this is what Aliexpress facilitates, is talking direct to Chinese manufacturers from other countries such as the United Kingdom and the US. So Aliexpress, we just had a look at the website. Now let's get to some figures. They have 700 million page views in the last 6 months alone. They are third in the world for generate general merchandise traffic. They are behind only eBay and Amazon, and they have users in over 190 countries around the world. So let's have a look at Taobao. So Taobao is an e-commerce website that is mainly focused at the mainland China consumer. You see here it does offer global delivery, however most sellers on this website don't do that, and you need an agent to perform that for you, and that's obviously extra cost and all those sorts of things. So it is similar to Aliexpress. If you have a look down, we can see it sells a lot of the same sort of things that Aliexpress sell, but usually it is more expensive. Sometimes it's cheaper, but Aliexpress is generally, like I said in the Aliexpress demonstration, that it is wholesalers and it is competing straight with the manufacturer and it's coming straight from the distributor. But this website is Chinese speaking, as you can see. This has been translated by the Chrome inbuilt translation app. That's why it looks a little bit funky. It's not the website's fault, that is Chrome's fault with the translation. But yeah, there is a few differences between this. They are starting to branch out into global shipping, as I said earlier, but not the same way Aliexpress are, and it's not targeted at the same thing. So there is some differences between the two. So now let's look at some official Taobao statistics. So Taobao, we've just had a look at the website again, and it is the world's biggest e-commerce website. They sell through fixed price, negotiated and auction. 70% of their users are in their 20s and 30s, and their users tripled from 2013 from 231 million to 636 million in 2018. So now let's have a look at Tmall. They are a Taobao spin-off company that facilitates the sale of brand name goods, generally from bigger businesses, to consumers in mainland China, Hong Kong, Macau and Taiwan. They aim to ensure the quality to consumers by only allowing businesses to sell. So now we have a look at Alibaba Cloud. Alibaba Cloud is China's largest cloud computing company and provides anti-DDoS protection, big data processing, data storage, and they also operate in 19 regional data centers around the world in locations such as the US, Europe, Asia and the Middle East. So now let's have a look at Alipay. Alipay overtook PayPal in 2013 and it then became the world's largest mobile payment platform. It has over 870 million users and a 54.26% share of third-party payments in mainland China. It is also very similar to that of Apple Pay and Google Wallet, as it is an overlay of traditional cards. This is Youku. mainly known as Youku in China, and the best way people describe it is a Chinese YouTube. However, I feel it's a little bit more than that, as it does have the small videos of China, but also, as you can see here, it has proper network broadcasts, which are full like TV series. It also broadcasts live sports down here, such as like the Spanish La Liga, the Soccer League, the Premier League in the UK, which is another massive sports league. It broadcasts these live to members, and so it's the NBA here as well. So it also has sort of children's programs like Peppa Pig, which is popular in the UK, and I think it's getting more popular in the US. But yeah, it does have the celebrity gossip and stuff, the same as YouTube, the same sort of videos. Like, see Ariana Grande there. So it is similar to YouTube, but I feel like it just offers a little bit more than YouTube does in the UK, in the US, and around the world. So yeah, I feel like it can be described as Chinese YouTube, but just with a little bit maybe tacked on to the edge. So now let's have a look at some proper Youku Todo official stats and figures to give you a better idea of how this performs in China and how popular this actually is. So you've seen Youku Todo's website. Now let's have a look at its figures. So Youku Todo is very similar to YouTube, which we've just discussed and I've just demonstrated. So it has over 500 million active users and 800 million daily video views. That is unbelievable. It was acquired by the Alibaba group in 2015. So this is the Chinese social media site Weibo. It is sort of like Twitter, sort of like Facebook. I'd say it's a little bit maybe more like Twitter. So if we have a look down through, again, this has been translated, so if you see anything a bit funky, it's probably the translation's fault. But you see people post pictures of their cats, people post pictures of their dinner, people post selfies, all that sort of stuff. So it's very similar to the social media sites in the West. So now we've had a look at the actual website, let's just take a look at some official figures and statistics for Weibo so we can see exactly how it's performing in China, how popular it is, and how much of an asset this is to the Alibaba group. So Weibo, as we just discussed, Weibo is very similar to Twitter, and Alibaba group has a 31.5% stake in Weibo. It has over 446 million monthly active users to Twitter's 326 million active users. In addition to this, they have 6 million registered accounts, which is a great ratio of total accounts to active accounts. So is Alibaba a buy in 2019? So the good bit, US and China trade deals. One big hang-up investors were having with purchasing Alibaba stock was the potential trade issues with the US, but Donald Trump has announced that he is delaying a planned increase in tariffs which are due to come into effect March 1st. Most importantly, he is planning to a summit to conclude an agreement with himself and President Xi Jinping. On the back of this news, the Shanghai stock market saw its best day in more than a year as investors became more uncomfortable investing in China, and being Chinese's biggest e-commerce website, this is going to send Alibaba and other stocks like JD.com higher and higher. So the fundamentals. I know the numbers are boring, but they're important, so are strong fundamentals. Let's have a quick look. Alibaba presents almost unrivaled growth for its size. With a market cap of 472 billion, it is not a small company at all. It is in fact roughly about the same size as Facebook. And they expected to grow their revenue by 54% in 2019. The closest that any other mega market cap stock can get is the likes of Amazon and Google, which are targeting just under 20% growth, which is still a lot, but not even close to Alibaba. Their revenue is outpacing their earnings, however, as they grow and their costs grow with them. They're not a cheap stock with a trailing PE of 50 and a forward PE of 26.25, but this growth enables them to stay appealing to investors. Amazon's forward PE of 41.25 does still show that Alibaba represents a significantly cheaper stock than Amazon does. So, the drawbacks. Alibaba is in a slight CEO transition at the moment, as Jack Ma has begun to transition out of the company and his successor Daniel Zhang will feel the pressure to keep the conglomerate growing. This is generally a difficult time for companies, especially with someone such as Jack Ma, who has been the visionary and the driving force behind Alibaba for so long. Alibaba soon becomes so large and complex with many different departments that it may only be possible for the prior CEO to understand this web of entities, and therefore it does risk becoming unmanageable for the new CEO. You also can never own Alibaba's assets directly. Now this is complicated, but Chinese law forbids foreigners from owning strategic assets within the country of China. So what do you actually get when you purchase Alibaba Group? So instead of purchasing Alibaba, you own a Cayman Island holding company that has a contract to receive the profits from the Alibaba company. This structure leaves the stock vulnerable to the whims of the government of China and other Alibaba executives. None of this is to suggest there's anything inherently evil going on at Alibaba. I just wanted to make it clear to potential investors what you're actually purchasing when you buy Alibaba. Alibaba clearly has a massive upside potential. but there are issues to be considered before investing. So based on this, would you be willing to purchase Alibaba stock? Or are you a current shareholder? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you subscribe for more stock analysis and stock market videos. Ensure you're hitting that like button and follow me on Twitter at StockInvestUK. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.